Hey guys, it's read along time. Who are we going to read about? Just to show, I'm getting it from the mainstream news reliable source. But it's a 9-year-old article from the Guardian. And what is it? What's it about? Liberals extra from Central Casting gives glimpse into reality of Turnbull show. Small business owner chosen for Prime Minister's visit plays part admirably, but the script comes under scrutiny in elaborate pantomime of the campaign trail. Alright. So, because I don't have to multitask and wave the camera around in the air like I just don't care, I'll sit it there and you can look at my ugly canoggin. We'll have a read along, shall we? Ian Gill, owner of the Shayla Park Mitre tent franchise, was a Liberal campaign extra from Central Casting, which is exactly why the Liberal National Party member for the marginal Brisbane seat of Forde, F-O-R-D-E, Bert Van Manen, chose him for Malcolm Turnbull's visit on Tuesday. Okay, what are we talking about? Okay, we'll have a look, shall we? Happy to see that.
Hey Bert, how are you? Great to see you.
Welcome to Forde.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Hello, how are you? Really well.
It's great to be here, Logan, and with Forde. This is where the real investment, this is where additional employment comes from. This is where the jobs and growth are being found. And that's why we're backing you right up to the hilt, because we know your enterprise is what makes Australia strong. Your enterprise is what assures our future.
Oh dear. Now, it's no secret that the Turnbull family was in the business of print media well before Turnbull was, well before Clinton Turnbull was even into politics. Like, he was still a paralegal lawyer, just starting to get into the ranks. Turnbull Media was at the Kerry Packer print media inquiry about whether he'd been evading taxes or not. Around the time when he bought Channel 7, and I was wondering if he was colluding with Rupert Murdoch or not, which I can't, as if he wasn't. How do you completely railroad an entire nation's media, televised and print? What they call a monopsony, when you own the competition as well. Kind of like what all of our freedom fighters are doing, pretending not to be friends, as if they're alternative sources of information to each other. No, they're not. They're just all playing a different part of a script. So now, as you can see, when I talk about Central Casting, it's a real thing, okay? This is why I'm doing this quick little read through in The Guardian. It's a 9-year-old story when Clinton Turnbull was on the campaign trail running for Prime Minister, which of course he was going to get. How else did he end up with Central Casting? Your taxes paid for that. Looking forward to the enterprise tax cuts in the budget, Turnbull asked rhetorically, bounding into the store. Yes, they should be quite good for us, Gill replied. Can I just say we are so committed to supporting businesses like yours, Turnbull told Gill. You are the engine room of the economy. Entire elections are bought and paid for by lobbyists. We always say that, but it is absolutely true. This is where the additional investment comes from. This is where the jobs and growth are being found. We recognise that the fastest growth in jobs comes from the ability to respond in firms like yours. It is so much greater than the big firms respond to. But you're in a position to move so fast, Turnbull said, as Gill nodded and the cameras whirred and the fluffy boom mics hovered overhead. Gill was also extremely worried about the competition he is about to face from the 3 big hardware stores about to move into the area. Oh, geez, what would that be? Bunnings and Walmart, the big W one? And all. It's all owned by the Walton family, so let's not kid ourselves, right? We feel the competition laws are tipped too heavily in favour of the big guys, he told Turnbull. Okay, I'm going to pause that there. It's what they call a rug pull of sorts. A pump and dump. Some people made a lot of money out of Mitre 10 going belly up. If you can't honestly stick your foot in the door and become a competitor with a nationwide franchise hardware store like Mitre 10 was, Mitre 10 Luck and Haynes, which was a duopoly joint venture, Mitre 10 and Luck and Haynes. I remember them stores quite well. Some of my age group would remember the Santa Claus and reindeer display on the second story of Mitre 10 Luck and Haynes in Devonport back in the day. I'm not sure what's in that building now. At the bottom of Steele Street, the traffic lights, and they used to have reindeers with its legs that used to go, and Santa Claus used to go like that and wave in his sleigh. Massive big display. Haven't seen that thing for years. Anyway. Yeah, a lot of people made a lot of money out of that. How? Here's a shit ton of money. Go away. Let us in, and we can give you a job as on the board of Bunnings and Co. In other words, they sold out their own franchise, their own company, and their own workers. They sold them up the river. Why? So they could sit back, get a fat CEO paycheck and a bag of money. Well, Ian, that is a really good point, and one of the changes we are making is to section 46 of the competition laws. Oh. Okay, let's just go fucking around with the Constitution to suit our mates, shall we? Turnbull said, we are introducing an effects test to give businesses like yours more protection from the big guys. So far, so wonderfully on message, unless you switch on your critical faculties. The Chief Executive of the Council of Small Business, Peter Strong, who fought for years for the changes to competition law, confirms that they would almost certainly not help Gill's looming competition from the big guys at all. If one or two big hardware stores move into an area where a small hardware store is operating, there's really nothing you can do about that. It's just competition, he said. So if the big guys are about to move in, and it does have the effect Gill is fearing, he might not be growing or employing even with the tax cut. And even putting the looming competition to one side, when Gill gets a tax cut, will it definitely boost jobs and growth? Gill tells Guardian Australia he'll use the extra money either to put on another staff member, he now employs 8 full-time and 2 part-time, or buy extra stock and make more money. Or more shares in his own company and then sell it out, and he gets a bigger profit when he sells it. Ian Gill, owner of Mitre 10 Shartler Park, and more explaining why we are here. Okay.
Yeah, the tax bracket's good. We form the tax bracket now where we get the incentives, so yes, it might give us the opportunity to employ another person, or we can put that money back in the stock to make more money. And
Yeah, I know. Wah. Boo-hoo. Great. If you want all the glossy tinsel and blah blah, run along. Come on, off you go. Ta-la, doo-doo, toodaloo. You come here for information, not to have your eyes tantalised and your ears titillated. In Turnbull's press conference later in the morning at a hospital on the other side of town, message now shifted to innovation, in which he took just 9 questions. I asked him whether the tax cuts would deliver their desired boost to growth and employment if business chose to take extra profits. He said jobs and growth would be an inevitable consequence, and returned to the Treasury paper he cited on Monday that he says showed that every $1 of tax cuts delivered a $4 boost to the economy, conceding that this dividend would be delivered over the long term. Right. Math not be mathin'. But according to the chief executive of the Grattan Institute, John Daly, most of the economic impact of the tax cuts will be felt when they extend to big business, and the impact on employment from tax cuts for small business, like Gills, is small, even on the government's own estimates. Blah, 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 blah. We're just talking about fudge numbers and like we always do. You know, throw a few numbers up in the air, convolute, confuse people, word salad, hyperbole, filibuster. And then we come to journalists. Apart from a few questions allowed by each leader at their daily doorstep, are really becoming, for the most part, just added extras in an elaborate pantomime, unless there is a gaffe. And of course the absolute need to avoid such gaffes gives the campaign organisers on both sides even more incentive to make sure no actual debate, no real discussion intrudes on the whole contrived circus. So there you go. Here's some questions for you to ask me so that I don't have to give any uncomfortable answers. And the questions you ask me will make me look really good. Which raises the question as to whether the Truman Show nature of election campaigns has finally outlived its useful purpose. Oh, wow. So, yeah, central casting. Who else loves central casting? Donald Trump. Who actually set up central casting? What's central casting actually for? Central casting is an extras institution for movies, TV shows, commercials. It's where most of the TV commercial actors come from. And the real good ones that's fit the physique, fit the mindset, fit the persona, and have a certain presence, certain psychological and physical qualities, well, they get snabbled up by intelligence agencies. And of course Australia has an intelligence agency. Like the CIA. Then you've got I've drawn a blank because I've gone retarded. I've dead set gone retarded. How about I ask the computer? It's a good idea, Dave. Okay. So that was from The Guardian. Now let's go straight to Central Casting website themselves, while I try to recall what I was trying to think of. The Israeli intelligence. By the way, nowhere in there is the nation state of Israel mentioned. It's been played with there, you're manipulated. It's only a people group. Okay, a person was named Israel, not a land. Israel, as a nation state, was created after World War II, so that the Jewish people from Germany and so forth, who had nowhere to go, had somewhere to go. United Nations created the nation state of Israel. Mossad, that's what I'm thinking of. Mossad agents. Oh, wow. Yeah, anyone can sign up. Let's have a look at this. I'll pop you up here on Periscope. I've never even looked at this before. Why not? Oh, well. Never found the need to before. Are we in view? Kinda. Come down. Hello. Wah. Alright. Central casting. Sign up to work as a paid background actor in film and television. And psyopses. Like Bondi. Hey, if we're going to go conspiratorial, we'll at least get conspiratorially factual. Let's get the facts instead of the tinfoil out, will we? Central casting is a real thing. Background actors' applications are closed for the holidays. Applications will reopen on January the 12th, 2026. Oh, tell you what. I tell you what. I've got ideas running around in my head. Open roles. Already signed up? Find current open roles and apply to work as a background actor. Wow. Hey, hire Central Casting. Discover the perfect background talent for your next production, straight out of the Central Casting. Gotta love Central Casting. Wow, eh? Booking details, manage your profile, talent resources, messaging. If you received a my booking details code, enter it to access your booking information. Get the tips to manage your profile and increase your chances of getting booked. Check out all the background actor resources you need to be a pro on set. Get messages from casting directors and production companies looking to fill roles. I don't know, they're looking for any mass murders in Tasmania. Have they finished in Port Arthur yet, you reckon? How long have they been around? For 100 years. Central Casting has brought together those who dream with those who create to tell stories that inspire the world, working on productions of every size and scope, from Hollywood classics to today's streaming blockbusters, and launching the careers of generations of talent. Oh, and as we've just seen, to help with campaign trails for grubs like that. Wow, eh? There we go. She's the real McCoy. Sorry to tell you, sweet. What else you got here? Get cast. Let's have a click through. What have we got? Work as a background actor in California, New York or Georgia. That'd be a good way to travel the world, wouldn't it? Kind of like that bloke who was taking selfies with blood all over his head after Bondi. That they had pictures of getting makeup. Talent resources. The casting cares about your success. Profile. Taking profile photos. Taking your measurements. Measurements? What? Do I have to be honest? 9 inches. Special skills and props. I can shoot. Well, that's a thing. I'm a good shot. Can I be the next Mick Taylor? Messaging and casting directors, preparing for set, working on set, minors, resource videos. See our entire catalogue of resource videos on topics ranging from rush calls to taking measurements. Why not? Let's take a stroll. What have we got here? We got optimize your profile, about rush calls, wardrobe information, a hat measurement, how to take a dress measurement, how to take a pant measurement, waist, hip, bra measurement. Be honest with our ladies. coat, pant, neck, measure your pants inseam. Wow, man. That's crazy. Spotlight. What is a standing? Someone who reads the news. Look at that, look at that. What is a standing? Ha! Can you read? A stand-in takes the place of a principal actor or for rehearsals, camera blocking and lighting setups, from the possibility of consistent work opportunities to interacting more closely with the crew. Stand-in roles are highly sought after. Here's what you need to know about getting booked and working as a stand-in. And up, types of stand-ins. There are different kinds of stand-ins that serve a variety of purposes on set. Some need to resemble the principal actor as closely as possible, while others just need to have a similar height. No matter what kind of stand-in you are an integral part of the production. Casting services, premium casting, casting payroll. Casting services map. We've got open roles. What have we got there? Give us a look. What have we got? Open roles. Okay, so let's just finish on this much, shall we? Still think your vote counts? Do you still think it's worth voting? Do you still think that there's anyone in that fucking building in Canberra that has any thought for you whatsoever, ever? Why do you vote? I don't. I have arguments with them every election. No, I'm not voting. Why? Why would I? Why would I participate in such a fucking scam? I'm a scallywag, not a criminal. But, you know, one man's criminal is another man's saviour. One man's thief is another man's Robin Hood. Not that I'm a thief, I can't stand thieves. There's always a way to get what you need without stealing it. It's called Yod. Work with your hands. Live by the toil of your hands and the sweat of your brow. There's no excuse to not be able to get what you need if you don't ruin your name. God bless you, bye for now. There you go. Central casting's a real thing. So there's one bit of tinfoil hat you can screw up and throw in the bin now. It's not real. The tinfoil hat, man. It's not a theory. It's a fact.